Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another Link to the Past Randomizer League race. We're in the middle of week number 4. We're playing Influ Keys. Whenever I say it, sounds wrong. But you would think that I love this mode with as many times as I've commentated. But more than anything, I just really enjoy watching good races with good runners. And it's always good to do that with a partner. And it's great to have the partner that I have today, Will WC. Will, how's it going?
Hello, doing good here. Looking forward to this one. This is a cross division matchup between these two teams. Both of them sitting at 5-2. Both sitting at Phendrana Drifters tied for first in their division, and Team Hime sitting half game out of first in the Lost Woods division. So, a couple teams that this might be a preview of a playoff matchup down the line here.
Yeah, and if you saw their first race, which was the first race that kicked off the entire week, it was nuts. It was Drac versus Ravis, and I think the first sword came at like 90 minutes. It was crazy. So Team Hime trying to crawl back and get a win, even though Ravis was winning most of that seed. So we'll see how this shakes out. But two really strong teams, two excellent runners, and it's going to be pretty fun. Starting out with bombs is always nice, but 2C gets bullied right outside of Hype Cave. So
yeah, it's tough when you have all the kind of cross traffic going on there.
Yeah.
I do think he got the door open at least.
Yeah.
Even though he has the extra bomb.
And not much, just a couple of keys here.
Yeah, that GT key is a long way from being of any real interest to us.
Yeah, for sure. So pretty normal start since we have the flute that's already activated. Is just to head over to Meyer real quick and get these two checks out of Meyer's shed, and then make your way through VOO Leestown.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you playing this week?
I am not. I am perfectly happy to get the inverted dodge in.
Yeah.
I traded inverted week to give the other two guys doors week. Is how
nice.
It worked out.
Nice. All right, so just a heart container, which is nice early on in this mode, just because it can be a little tricky coming out.
As we have seen.
Yeah. Quake for Meyer if we ever need to go in there, and Jet can give us our first look at the Village of Outcast in Thestown.
Yeah, it is at least nice that he's getting here with the one bomb left and with rupees for chest game, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to awkwardly dance around and come back for anything here.
For sure. There's a Thestown small key, so that does nothing for us yet. But if we get the big key, then maybe. I think I enjoy. I don't
at least put some checks in logic. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to run this mode with the difficulty that can come from having to do some inverted stuff. Influ keys kind of circumvents that by including key sanity, so you're not necessarily forced to fight blind or do some stuff in regular inverted that could be rude. But there's times where it's tough, and as a viewer, that's kind of what I want to see. Got our first glove.
Yeah, 2C will be picking up that glove in a second. Yeah, that is definitely a thing in this mode, is that you start with no resources, no health, in the Dark World, where everything hits like a dump truck. And, as we saw even just on the very, at the very start with 2C over on the Hype Cave screen, it can go wrong in a hurry.
Yeah, everything, almost everything hits for at least 2 hearts in the Dark World early on. So not one hit KO, but close enough. So there's our hammer. So now we're just a moon pearl away from Light World access. Chad asking, how does Influ Keys works? It's inverted start. I was hoping for the Thestown big. That's
it
the
sure
pod
felt
big.
like it.
But that would have been awesome, because that would force them into finishing this dungeon with the hammer. It's inverted start, so you start in the Dark World, and then you try to get to the Light World with the Moon Pearl and normal Dark World access, just flipped. The keys part is full key sanity, so all the keys are shuffled, and the flue is the starting flute. So you start with a activated flute.
Yeah. So a lot of additional checks that are normally not in logic become open to you right from the start in this mode. So things like pyramid and catfish with that glove, those are already all in logic. Pod is available, front of pod, without any other keys or checks. So, there's a lot of different things that you can kind of cover in Sphere 1 in this mode.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Jet going up to Skull Woods. Some of the stuff is in logic. I'm not sure how all the logic works, so I'm not going to talk about.
I'm pretty sure all of these checks here at front of
Okay.
Skullwoods are just in logic from
Because
the
you
start
could just
as well.
drop down from there, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You can get to all the checks without spending keys.
2C going south though, and gonna do Arrow Game. It gives them some money for both the dig game and I don't know. Did we see chess game? I don't know. I wasn't fully.
We did. It was
okay.
a compass, I think.
Okay. But now he's got money for dig game, and then he's also got money for pod if we need to make our way over there.
Right.
The question is how rude is the Moon Pearl going to be? And I don't know. It can be rude. It can be rude.
Yeah, there are a lot of really awkward places and long walks that you can end up having to take for a Moon Pearl, as we see the bow there from dig game.
Yeah, that gives us a couple of checks.
Yep, that opens up the 2 checks on right side pod. With the hammer, it opens up. We already had the access to the bridge and Stalfos with the key as well.
With the 1 key, yeah.
Yeah.
Jet taking a death here. That's not going to be too much of a problem though. All right, so 2C is putting off Skull Woods and in favor of coming over to pod. With the 1 key and with the bow, how many checks is that? So 1, oh, there's the Moon Pearl. It's just super easy. Moon Pearl's just right here. So
I think it's 5 checks that he can get to
5
in
checks.
pod.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a second key though for Jet. So I think this route is probably going to work out a little bit better for Jet. He's not forced to come into pod yet. He's got access to the entire late world. So unless there's something really, really good in pod, it might be which could possibly happen, boots and a sword or something. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to see Jet come here for a while.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that you try and kind of put off that whole eastern pod area until you can maybe find a mirror somewhere in the light world, because you're going to start off in Kakariko just for pure density and kind of work from there usually.
Yeah. So not a huge loss, but it is going to be at least a double dip for 2C. Unless,
right. And unless he could be a point of divergence either way.
Yeah, I mean, he could go immediately to the boss. That seems a little crazy.
That seems a little greedy. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not using the key yet.
You're that desperate to find out. Yeah, I don't think you're that desperate to find out if this is Pendant Crystal by doing
right.
a 5 heart in the dark trip to Helmassar.
All right, so we got the well, and now we're just going to see Jet open up a lot of chests here in the light world, and gets mitts, which is interesting because the mitts, unless the mirror is locked behind those mitts, there's not a lot necessarily locked behind the mitts in inverted.
Right, but it does, especially with the flute, give you kind of a nice quality of life with it opening up a couple more paths into the light world.
Yeah, that's real nice.
And yeah, it does open some pathways on the mountain, which is its own little beast and inverted.
Well, there's the Eastern Big. We need to get the Swamp Small as well, so Eastern's fully clearable for Jet. whenever he wants to go there.
Between our two runners, we have access to Eastern, but Jet may not get that bow for a good while.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Our first bottle, see if that plays a factor at all. And an ice key, and it looks like
2C is not saving and quitting, so yeah, he's going to go through right side a second time to open up the back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bunch of checks, so I get it.
Yeah, you've got big keys, so it's at least, you know, if you get the classic pod key and pod, then
right, you can just do the entire.
Entirely.
Yeah, yep. Nothing in the chicken house. Back at tavern gives us $5. Yeah, it's a little, as far as the runners go, getting early light world access is super nice because you're not forced into doing any weird shenanigans. But for viewers, it's a little lame. I want to see them suffer a little bit, but
it is always fun when you have to start rolling out like, oh, is purple chest
right.
our moon pearl today?
Yeah, totally.
And there have definitely been plenty of seeds like that so far this week.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right, so coming out of Kakariko, got the mitts, got the flippers, get the swamp small, Eastern big. There's a hook shot.
Now, that's a nice pickup for 2C.
Yeah.
That's a good payoff.
Yeah, for
the hook
sure.
Shot there.
All right, Jet using those mitts and taking a look at the front, or at least the desert ledge item. We got checkerboard and we got a Guinness cave here as well. The ice rod. All right.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable navigating the maze without anything to guide you? This is a little trickier.
Yeah, if you can lay a bomb or two, then that's a good way. That'll help. The bee, as you see here, is helpful as well.
Guiding away a little bit. Yeah, I like it. Hook shot as well. All right, so that actually worked out pretty well for 2C because he's going to get his moon pearl here shortly. I totally missed what was in the
Skullwoods is almost surely the next thing on his.
Yeah, I don't think he follow the. Oh, never mind. He is going to follow the hook shot he's going to follow the out of logic hook shot instead of going into Skullwoods, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he going to do?
You kind of anticipate making a few trips around the mountain in this mode.
But so he's going to do hookshot cave and super bunny, right?
Yeah, I think that's all he can do here without the mitts. And first check of Castle Tower. He can do as
first check of Castle Tower. Yeah. All right, take a look at the dam. You know, Jet did skip K45. He saved and quit from race game and then didn't continue. And now that's kind of in an awkward spot.
This mode creates some weird orphans with how access between, to the light world works and kind of the order that you do things. You can end up with some checks that end up way out of the way that you wouldn't normally think of.
Nice bomb set up there to get through those Lionels.
Yeah, it's always a little sketchy getting around those guys in this mode when you don't have when it's Oko for a touch.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Hookshot Cave and Mini Moldworm at almost the same time. Let's see if any of it pays off.
Double kill up with the up hammer. That was beautiful. Well done, Jet.
That's got to be careful though. Down to 1 heart. All right, what do we got? Look like Quake. There's the book that gives us desert access. Which, if it's crystal, we're gonna need.
Yep.
And then Jet's got the flippers. He's so close to. Oh, there's a fire rod. That will. And the boots. All right.
And the boots.
This is working out really well for
This is working out real nicely for 2C.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tusi going to see if he can continue to find little advantages. Might just go pull a sword off Catfish or something here. You know, why not until he actually gets over to Skullwoods and gets that Moon Pearl. And another GT small on Man Under the Bridge. Oh my goodness. Okay, just go pull the mirror off Catfish. This could not be going more fortuitously for 2C at this point in the seed. He's going to get his Light World access here in just another couple of minutes. But he's going to be in the Light World with an extra hookshot, bow, mirror, and boots up on Jet, who is clearing out the Light World at this point. That's going to be a whole heck of a lot of efficiency for him. Jet sees the Cane of Burna on the Zora ledge there. We're managed to farm up enough money through our trip through Kakariko that he does have the 500 to see the Zora item as well. Tusi actually going to go ahead and get this bridge check back here. Not have the ability to go to Mothula without a sword, but is going to give us a new check here. And why not? For all, that fire rod is completely in logic, so it makes perfect sense for him to be checking this. Just a heart piece. All right, Jet out of the darkness with the old man, so he's going to have to walk around the old Death Mountain here to take him home. Meanwhile, 2C, now he's in the main area of Skullwoods, so just a couple of checks away from getting his Moon Pearl, getting his Light World access. And Jet by doing this route, gonna put off the fire rod and boots over there in Super Bunny Cave just a little bit longer. There's Moon Pearl. So we'll see what kind of route 2C takes into the Dark World here. Having that mirror in hand may incentivize him to do things a little differently. And yeah, it does look like we're going to start right here, just south of Link's house. So coming into Dark World a different direction, or coming into Light World. And yeah, he does have that shovel. That's a good call out from the chat. Or we'll be coming from the northeast. We talked a little bit about creating orphans earlier. This is gonna be a little bit of a weird orphan of King's Tomb, since we know the Mitts are in Kakariko. But it is gonna be a few new checks for us here.
The fact that they got the boots and the hook shot and the mirror all before getting his Moon Pearl is just insanely huge, right? Like, that's just worked out so well for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely exactly that. He's gonna, when he gets over to Kakariko, he's gonna get that Eastern big key. He'll have a fully clearable Eastern. Fire Rod will only help in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost
it's just all working out really nicely for him.
Yeah,
so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Jet is on his way to get the boots. Those were in Super Bunny, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he is going to get those boots. So that's good. And we've talked about this a lot on the comms that I've done and the races that I watched. Is just people putting off Catfish for some reason. I know it's a bad check. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Catfish have something. Our team had, and especially after, beer, mostly, was like, once I get gloves, first thing I do is go to Catfish. And
yeah, I mean, Catfish is kind of like the Agena of this mode if you compare it to like a Light World start. It's that check that's kind of slow, kind of annoying, even if you have, flute or boots or whatever for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is Sphere 1. You got to do it at some point.
Totally.
And obviously Catfish, not Sphere 1 in this mode, but just behind gloves.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a flute to 2 though, right? Like, unlike the other every other mode in inverted, and especially in flute keys, you have the flute, activated flute. It's just right there. So
yeah, it's one of the few things that is more convenient in inverted than
for sure.
A normal mode.
All right, I don't remember seeing Lost Woods from Jet, so this might be new.
These are new checks for us.
But Jet also going to do some new checks as well, because Tuesday didn't have the Moon Pearl when he was up here, so he's able to check all this stuff out.
Jet, don't pass up a free boomerang.
I know. I wish he has that boomerang right now. Yeah, exactly.
Oh no. I guess we're gonna do one of Spiral Cave or Mimic Cave here first. Oh nope, no, we actually are coming back in. Just wanted to be a little bit more confident about the health situation here.
Get through these mini Moldorms for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 7 checks here from Jet. Let's see if we can pull anything good. A sword would be really nice. Canis Samaria is really nice. I like that.
Yeah.
If only he had
anything for us just yet, but we're
if only he had that mirror, right?
Yep. Yeah, if he had that mirror, that's a whole bunch of checks in TR that are open to him.
Couple of maps. Another big key to Hera. Oh, that's really convenient.
Hera Big's nice.
Yeah.
That's another 5 checks that he can knock out once he gets out of here.
All right, so Tusi's going to route
also
this
our first
south.
dungeon clear, most likely.
Yeah, Tusi's going to route this south And then he'll be able to full clear swamp if he wants. He's got the small key, he's got the hammer, he's got the shut the mirror, the flippers. Yeah, so I imagine he at least, I don't know if he does left side, but at least goes in there. I mean, with everything that we have, the book, it's like we have almost all of the items. We need Quake for Mire to get into Mire. We don't need Ether for Turtle Rock because we can go in with Mirror. Between the two runners, we have almost all the items. We need some swords. And then we're just looking for
some
keys.
Swords. We need, yeah, pretty much. We maybe need, Desert Big. We maybe need Thieves Big. We maybe need Mire Big. We maybe need a whole bunch of TR keys.
Yeah.
Or at least, well, I guess at least the big key. In this mode, it's actually not that bad to get through it on.
Yeah, you can just use the one key, basically, yeah.
Yeah. If you're in an absolute pinch, you can steal the pokey key and do it on 0, but...
There's a Mire key. We don't need that. Oh, and look at this. 2C going to take advantage of that mirror and do the Smith chain as well. All right, so we know that our Hera, the big key that we just got, leads to a pendant dungeon. So not great, but I imagine you still clear it, right?
Yeah, I think you're clearing it here. You just got that big key. You've got a hammer. You're gonna go ahead and clear it.
Yeah, it's just so much that you're still looking for.
I was just sitting there internally thinking, why isn't he hero potting?
Oh, right. Yeah. One of our runners could hero pot right now. The other one in Hera cannot. It's another bottle from the Smiths. Can take a look at hammer pegs. Jet wants to make sure he's got a couple hearts there at the top of Hera. That's why he switched that switch there. Another map. Nice bomb jump without the hammer or without the sword. Skullwood's keys. Not
yeah,
really
that's always a little scary to set up.
Mm-hmm. Did it really confidently though, so that worked out. So 2C gonna take the purple chest this way through the flute spot. I guess our runners just don't like K45 checks. There's the lamp.
Do K45 and the shuffle?
I don't think so.
I guess he did. He didn't, yeah, but I'm a little surprised by that.
All right, so logically required lamp. That's our second fire source. See what that does for Jet and how he wants to route this. He does have 3 pod keys. He's got Eastern as well, so I could see a play there. He doesn't have the mirror yet, so he can't do
Smith
swamp.
This might be Smith into the rest of kind of light world, overworld checks. He is going to get that bow from Dig Game here, though, so that'll be good for him, and probably nudge him even more towards Pod and Eastern.
Oh, he still hasn't done Dig Game. Okay,
right.
That makes sense why he's not in Pod and Eastern then. Okay, it's bow was in my head, so I imagined everyone had it, but no, didn't get it yet. All right, so I think 2C is he just ran right by the dam. I think he's just going to do the 5 checks here in Mini Moldorm Cave first, just in case it's like a sword.
Yeah, I think maybe just try and pull a sword.
Yeah, but we know that where the sword is, it's in Swamp Palace, so just go there first.
Yeah, and you're also kind of latently hoping you can pull a pod or a swamp big out of here.
Oh yeah,
he's not going to find it, but.
Yeah, at this point, we're just trying to figure out what we need. I mean, we're only 28 minutes in, but we got to figure out what our pendants and our crystals are.
Yeah, we could be real close to go mode. We could be a long way. One thing we are going to have to find, though, is that GT big key.
That's true. It can always be in GT, though. So. All right, so we're going to get our first look into Swamp from 2C here. Bunch of checks. Do you think he does left side Swamp?
If you're in Swamp before half an hour and you've gotten everything for it, equipment-wise, in a Key Sandy mode, I think you should be doing left side. But
yeah. Well, there's Thieves Town. We can now do Thieves Town.
Yep, and that's another... Every check there is in logic.
Yep.
So that could be somewhere he ends up real soon.
Rocky. That's looks like his third one.
It's either second or third. I can't quite make out on this track.
Yeah. I think this is just me. And 2Cs might be a little bit more aggressive. I feel like I got to do left side. That's just me, though.
Right. Yeah, I just... In a Key Sandy mode, you don't know how far away you are from go mode. You're in Swamp this early. I think you should be doing it.
Yeah, this tells me he's
we'll
not.
See. He's coming south first.
Yeah.
So that does feel like a maybe I put it off and come back with the big key sometime later kind of thing.
Yeah, it's probably the right play. Right, so Jet actually going to give us our first look at the shovel, and again, skipping past K45. Just some bombs. Let's see if he goes back to K45. He does not. Oh, he does. I think he just remembered.
Yeah, it's one of those real easy things to forget because, he doesn't have mirror yet. So in his mind,
totally,
you kind of default to open brain. And
it's kind of like one of the worst items, too, because checking the mushroom in this mood really stinks.
Yeah.
Normally in regular. Oh, what did I tell you? Sword and Swamp. And our Meyer big key. Okay.
All right.
Getting closer. We're inching closer to
two more dungeons clearable. Although 2C still needs to get that Cane of Samaria.
Yeah. All right. So this looks like an Eastern play from Jet.
Which makes perfect sense. You're going to get 6 items here and 3 more out of Saha.
I think I'd rather see him do Eastern first. I guess this, I don't know. It's just faster to route Eastern into Saha, but wanting that sword
I
maybe.
Think so as well. And chat.
Oh, it's green, and it's green.
Okay. So now it's just objectively the wrong order. But we do need Quake for Meyer. I forgot about that sure. Piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, there's the Swamp Big. All right.
Well, that'll be a little potential out, I guess, for Jet, since he's gonna, be in Swamp with that, and then and 2C without.
Yeah. Yeah. So far, routing has just worked out. Nothing that Jet has done has been bad, but the routing has just worked out so much better for 2C.
Right. It's one thing that 2C was late to Pearl. The thing that worked out for him was that in being late, he picked up, 4 pretty key items.
Yeah.
One of them out of logic, but the others all just kind of sitting there in sphere 1 or 2.
Yeah. Okay, so we see that Swamp is a crystal. We got a map check from Jet and saw the desert was a crystal. So we know 2 of our pendants, Eastern and Hera. We just need to find that third. And 2C going to go.
In our runners, we have a bit more. We got 3 of our Dark World dungeons covered.
Yep. Yeah, this might be these checks here from 2C, and then maybe Mirror go to Thieves Town, because that's fully clearable, right? Like small key, big key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you've got that many signs pointing you to Thieves Town, that feels like a good place to be looking.
Yeah.
sure Eastern's on his mind as well. Maybe just wants to have a couple more pod smalls before going back there, so he can clear that out at the same time.
Yep. Yeah, there it is. And there's a pod small in Eastern. What do you know? So that's 4. Oh, it's really unfortunate that Jet doesn't have the mirror, because he could just, with those 4, he could almost full clear pod.
Right.
Just do catfish. If you're listening to this and you haven't raced
yet, love to have that hook shot.
And you're gonna race, you get a glove, just go do catfish. Just do it. It's affected so many races. It's insane.
All right, Jet doing the Eastern Palace Big Key skip.
Wow.
So that's aggressive.
Aggressive, yeah, that's super aggressive.
Especially since he's the one with the lamp.
Yeah, totally. It's you know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see 2C do the same thing.
I wouldn't be surprised either. 2C, I've known for a long time. He plays aggressively as well. So
yeah. All right, so between the 2 runners, we've got almost everything. We're just missing like a medallion for Meyer, and then keys. Keys is what we're missing, right? So there's another map to pod.
Yeah, keys and swords.
So I think if Jet does a map check soon, we could probably find out what our last pendant is.
Yeah, he's got a lot of that info.
It's going to turn in this green pendant, though. So we do need the desert key, since we do know that desert's a crystal. Just a blue bottle. Ice is clearable. We have the Meyer big on 2C side, so Quake would get us Meyer. Skull Woods is clearable. Okay, so this is going to get Jet his hook shot, and he'll probably finish off. With the 4 keys, he'll have to choose one check not to do, and it'll probably be the big key chest.
I would think so, yeah.
But we'll be able to clear out everything else, get his ice rod, get his hook shot, and then beat the dungeon. Possibly get another pendant.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out that information here once he gets in the front door.
All right, Thieves Town is done. Okay, pod is a crystal, so that will give him a crystal. Thieves Town gives us a desert small and a crystal as well. All right.
Okay. Well, it's not nothing.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, how far away are we? Pod. We need desert big. That's the one I keep going back to. And then we're gonna need to beat. If Meyer's a pendant,
we might need a TR big.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We might need Quake for Meyer. I think that's what we. And then we need a GT big and of course another sword.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's what our situation looks like. But for GT mode, yeah, we could be, just one item away at this point.
Yeah. I imagine 2C goes up to the mountain here shortly. He's got a lot to do in the light world.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that's a bow?
There's the other bow.
Yeah. No silvers today, unless... Yeah, I'd be surprised to see silvers.
I would be very surprised.
I mean, Jet's got 2 of the 3 pendants. He might just accidentally clear another pendant without knowing whether or not it's a pendant.
If Skull's the last pendant and he shows up there with mirror, yeah, then he's getting it for free.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you think is our last pendant? Skull Woods, Ice Palace, Meyer, Turtle Rock.
The fact that we've only seen one Skullwood small key so far, I'm not feeling like this. I feel like this could be just we stuck the other 2 keys in GT somewhere. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna go TR just because early Ice Rod feels like you always find the Ice Rod when you don't need it.
That's true. It's just a known fact.
Totally. All right. Moth down for 2C and is rewarded with what? Another bottle and a crystal.
Okay.
That's crystal number 3 already for 2C.
Yeah, and he, you know, we know he's going to make it back over to Eastern Pod sooner or later and kind of clean up on that. And once he makes it up to the mountain, I'm sure he'll do Hera. So he'll kind of be catching up a little bit with the pendants that Jet's been clearing. But right now it's been, you know, he's been kind of just hitting the route on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's going to do Eastern. He doesn't know that it's a green pendant. I don't think he's going to do Saha first. Gosh, and as immediately as I say that, he heads towards Saha. I don't get it. Explain it to me, Will. Both runners doing Saha before Eastern.
I don't really... I'm afraid I don't have the answer for you.
Swamp Big is not something that 2C wanted to see because he doesn't want to go back to Swamp ever.
Right. Oh no, Jet's gonna have to sit here and take the Death Warp.
Yeah. These things do 100 damage though, so not too big of a deal.
Yeah, it's just time that 2C doesn't have to deal or doesn't have to give back with having the mirror.
Yeah, totally. So 2C will get pod number 4, and we'll use a similar route through pod though. He could choose to do big key chests instead of Harmless Hellway.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he abandoned Harmless Hellway, given that he's already done everything else in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think where our progression is going to be. We're so close. I mean, once 2C goes up to the mountain, he'll get Samaria. I guess the question is, when does Jet go to Catfish to get that mirror?
That's the thing, is it's going to be, that's just a one-off. Yeah, it's as convenient as it can be in this mode with the flute, but it is just a one-off.
Like, so does he go to
done
ice?
It by minute 42?
Yeah. Does he go to ice before he gets the mirror? Probably, right?
If he's in pod now, then yeah, I would kind of think you're probably looking at doing ice before you get over and do things like Catfish Pyramid.
Does he dip desert before going to Catfish?
Probably not, unless he stumbles into Big Key somewhere. But who knows, without the mirror, he's only going to get to Catfish pretty much from a save and quit.
Yeah.
So
2C is actually doing the vanilla Big Key chest. Or, what are we going to have here? Is Jet missing out on something? Small key to... Nope. So strict time save
that's
there.
That's where one of those Skullwood Smalls was hiding. Alright, Helmasaur, what do you have? Just a heart piece. And Jet's first crystal.
Alright, so where does Jet go off?
Yeah, we'll see if Jet does the ice play. Yeah. Oh, ice is our last pendant. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, that
He's
I have a feeling this
he's
confusion
debating?
here on the flip screen is exactly what we
Yeah.
were just talking about. Like, that sure felt like a, well, I was planning to go to ice, but now I'm not. Now I'm a whole lot less interested.
Yep. The Thieves Town Big was in Swamp, right?
I believe, yeah, I think it was like first check in Swamp.
So this is a powder. This surprises me. Mushroom over catfish. It's just so much longer than catfish, and it's a one-off, right? Like I get that. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's one of those. Well, I've dodged it this long. Just keep dodging it, and.
I mean, we're only 40 minutes in, though. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to get our first look at front of castle here?
Oh, yeah, that's possible.
No, he's going to pick up North Light World because he didn't make it up here to do
okay.
any of Graveyard or
Bacchus.
King's Tomb Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess the mushroom route's in better if you're doing all this stuff.
All right, and that King's Tomb check that 2C kind of isolated earlier, just a TR small that we're not going to miss.
But he did all this stuff, though, right? 2C?
Yeah, he did everything
all
else up here.
Yeah.
I don't think either runner has looked at what bumper ledge was.
Yeah, 2C did mirror.
Not that we have the tape anyway.
He did. Yeah, he did check it.
Gotcha. See if 2C pulls out the fire rod here for this turtle's room.
And the only sword we found so far is in Swamp as well, right?
Yeah, that's still the only one we've seen.
Okay, so we do need Quake for sure. And we do need the Turtle Rock Big Key, right? So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for Desert Big, Quake, and Turtle Rock Big Key. Those are the 3 items that we need.
Yeah, so that'll get us into GT mode.
Right, and then of course the GT Big Key.
Track down that Big Key, and then hopefully stumble into another sword or 2 on the way.
Right.
Jet's going to get the ped read here, and I'm wondering if that might actually nudge him slightly towards ice.
Go to ice. Yeah, just go. Let's just finish it.
It's at least a nice bonus if you're going to end up in another pendant dungeon.
For sure. This is probably going to be, a save and quit out of Lost Woods? Nope. Where's he going? I don't know where Jet's going.
I'm not sure either. He may be going back for back of escape, because he didn't do the 3 checks there.
All right, so 2C up on the mountain. He'll get Samaria. Maybe get the lamp. I don't know if he's going to beat her or not. He doesn't have the information yet or not, so there's a good chance that he finishes that off. We'll get his lamp, and then we'll give us a look inside of.
He's also going to give us. Well. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is he's definitely going to be doing some checks in TR.
Does anyone rescue Old Man? I don't think anyone's going to rescue Old Man, right?
Jet already did.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was when you were having the internet issues, but yeah,
okay.
he did do Old Man earlier.
And it looks like Ice is going to be the call for Jet. I mean, we're still looking for quite a few items, so regardless of whether or not it's a pendant dungeon, he can get everything but the big chest.
Right, it's still seven items in relative density. You've got the cane to make it a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got a small key, so all things considered, it's not luxurious ice palace, but it's far from the worst.
Yeah,
I think that he'd really like to have as a sword.
There's a mapped swamp. At this point, maps are pretty useless. I think both horror runners know.
Yeah.
Hera big. Jet gonna hit the switch since he doesn't have the big key.
He doesn't yet know about Hera, but he'll find out real soon here, one way or another.
Yeah. Oh, he's going the other way.
Okay.
In there. Yeah, 2C now has that information.
Yeah, I think Jet might be a guy who just doesn't icebreaker.
All right, so 2C into Hera. I imagine he just finishes it off. It's so fast, right? Like you've got everything to clear to clear top. You can Hera pot.
And he's got hook shot to clip up to the top. So yeah. I would fully expect it to be all 5 in here.
All right, so a couple new checks here in Ice Palace. Looking for Desert Big, TR Big, and Quake, and then Swords and GT Big. Okay, there's an Ice small in Ice. Yeah. Powder. If anyone likes fetch quests.
I love fetch quests. Especially in this mode. They feel so good in this mode.
Especially in this mode. 2C dashes into the pit. Doesn't want to do that. But we'll correct that this
I've
time.
never done that.
I do it all the time. Yeah, it's so frustrating. All right, so 2C going to get his pendant here and then his lamp. And I'm really curious about Turtle Rock. Yeah. Turtle Rock is a big question right now. Ice not really paying out unless we got a few more checks.
We've only got the freeze ore check and cold stare left.
Yeah. All right, so 2C with the mirror. Let's see where he wants to start. He's going to start with Mimic Cave. Nothing in freeze ore. I mean, Jet's getting down to it, right? Like, the mirror's going to come soon because I don't know how much more he's got left. He can go into desert.
Yeah, he can't get in the swamp.
Yeah, he can't get in the swamp. Can't really get into Turtle Rock. Can't get into Mire. So
he's got the single check in the back of Skull Woods, but nothing. He can't do the boss there without a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the options are pretty thin for Jet.
I like just down in the goo here and making sure you take care of these dudes because it can get hairy really quick.
Yeah, I kind of like the way he handled that. Get a couple hammer hits in. If you take a couple hits there, it's fine because you know you're going to use that potion.
Yeah.
And then that worked out very nicely.
Pretty
3 bombs.
Yeah, pretty empty
for 1 set of silver arrows.
Is he gonna punch that ticket? I guess, but you know, he can't do Skull
If he makes it to Skull, like I said, if he gets to Skull Woods with the mirror, then I think that's
pretty likely, right?
Perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's pretty likely. Because he's gonna get the mirror. They'll give him the sword. They'll give him because now.
Flute too.
Yeah, here it comes.
Okay, this is gonna be a mirror for Jet. All right.
2C with all the keys into Turtle Rock. Gonna take this all the way to the front. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
So this is gonna be a beeline for Swamp, I think.
And I kind of like this route because you give yourself the advantage of looking for that TR big key in case it's in here.
Yeah.
And being able to do Trinex.
All right, mirror time, which means swamp time for Jet. This will be good. This will get him. No, he's changing his mind.
Something else before swamp time.
Powder, maybe? He wants to see if the ice play paid off, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, this.
I
mean,
maybe
silver. When you're swordless, silvers aren't a bad thing to have for your phase 2 of Argus here, so he may just be coming for those.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's the big key of this dungeon. That's
what do you know? That worked. Gosh, I wish things would route for me the way they route for 2C. I don't think I've ever routed like this.
Yeah. So he's going to be able to just go straight through this way to get to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, because he's got both keys too. That'll save him like a trip around the mountain. That's nice.
Yep.
Worked out really well. There's the silvers for Jet.
And you said we never see those.
Did I? I said that? I don't get getting them there. I get what you're saying. He doesn't have a sword, but I feel like you're a sword away from Skull Woods. You just combo it there, right? Like,
yeah.
I get it'll save a little bit of time on Argus, but I don't know if the time it took
with
to
Fire and
go
Ice Rod, you should be able to.
Yeah.
You should be able to one cycle phase 2 there, anyways. So.
There's sword number 2.
Oh, Master Sword.
Also, so far behind the mirror. Castle Tower key. We saw the Lumberjack doesn't have anything, so we don't have to worry about that. The second check in Castle Tower could have something. So we are swords are good to go. Like we can beat the game now with the swords that we've got. We are still looking for the Desert Big and Quake, and then the GT Big.
That is correct.
This single dip of Turtle Rock really worked out for 2C. It'll work out for Jet too.
Yeah.
If he routes it the same way.
Right. The only thing is that Jet has a lot less kind of to do with the TR dip that 2C did. So, he might try and hold out for Big Key for a while, which isn't going to work in his favor.
Yeah. He does have the Big Key to Swamp going into Swamp, so we have that. I don't think he feels good about that Catfish play, so I imagine he's going to skip left side too.
I would be surprised to see him do left side here, given kind of how this has played out so far.
Yeah. All right, last check. Turtle Rock is $50. Big chest of Swamp is
Crystal 5 for 2C.
Nothing. Yep. 5 crystals. So he just needs that desert big, which could be vanilla as well. Like if there's a big key for Total Rock and Total Rock.
We have not been inside desert at all yet.
Yeah, and we do have the small key. We can't get into Mire. We can beat it once we are able to get the medallion. But all right, so there's sword number 1 for Jet and 2C. Oh, he's gonna check the tablet. He didn't check it? Did he check it before? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think he had bulk the last time he came through here because that was over a mini Moldworm.
Oh, okay. Just the single arrow. But he's going to take a look into desert.
Yep.
I mean, between the two runners, we've seen a lot. I'm trying to think of stuff that we haven't seen. Left side swamp, desert are the two big ones. We haven't seen any of Hyrule Castle.
We have not seen anything from the front of Hyrule Castle. Yeah, Uncle, all that sitting there. We haven't seen Pyramid yet.
That's
there's a Sphere 1 check.
Yes, it is. Just the heart on the torch. So I imagine Jet heads to Skull Woods next, finishes that off, and it's just kind of in crystal mode, right?
Yeah, I think Jet's going to be just clearing dungeons here for a bit, kind of covering some of the same ground that 2C did, as far as going through Thieves, going through Skull.
All right, that's not a big key or quake. There's a small key to pod. That's all 6.
Yeah, but that's a pretty dry desert there. No pun intended.
Yeah. Pyramid Fairy, I think. This route's pretty nice, right? He gets to do. Oh yeah, Thieves Town.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pyramid Fairy, Castle, Pyramid Ledge, all together. Yeah, this is as good of a density option as you can hope for at the 1 hour mark. Yeah, looking at chat, it's kind of the question is, what else does Jet have at this point? And
it's tough.
I mean, there's still
just got a lead, right? Like everything that Jet's path.
The main thing that I think he needs, I think he needs to find GT Big in some out of the way location in Overworld or somewhere stinky like Left Side Swamp, and hope 2C gets into GT and has to root around there for nothing.
Yeah. So just the Cast Tower key. The Bombos does nothing. We already have Fire Rod, and it's a medallion that we don't need, so nothing there. But we've got a bunch of checks. It did get the Hyrule Castle key here, so all of it's in logic. We'll see if we find anything. Someone's got to come up soon. I just don't know where that spot would be for Jet at this point. That is the desert key.
Big, so that's one more piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, we're 2 items now away from Gomo. We need Quake and the GT Big. But of course, the GT Big could just be in GT, so.
Yeah, and at this point, that's probably the likeliest place for it. But.
Yeah. What's going to stink is, like, let's say they find Quake next, right? Which is very likely. Is how much of Mire do you want to do?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, there's pod 6. Okay.
Here's our last pod small.
Yeah, I thought we had 6 already, but no, we're not going back for that. Did 2C end up checking? I can't remember. Did he check the vanilla big key chest?
I think he did, yes.
Okay.
but don't hold me to that. Please.
Yeah, so Jet's behind, right? He's behind a Skullwoods and a Turtle Rock clear. That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's just a lot. With ice being out there, and we know that there's nothing in ice. That means whatever Tusi's going to stumble on is probably before he gets to Ice Palace. The only other thing would be Ice Palace big chest, but the big key could just be in GT at this point. So,
right.
Not looking great for Jet.
Yeah, there's just objectively several minutes of makeup to do in just Crystal Dungeons.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of behind in overall checks and doesn't really have any like clear outs here. This might be one of his better one-offs here if he's going towards Magic Bat right now.
Oh, the Magic Bat. Yeah. This could be it. Really need this to be like it's the GT big. Everything else
Yeah, if it's just the Quake medallion, that doesn't help him because 2C's going to get funneled there sooner than later.
Yep. All right, Magic Bat has a sword.
Well, it ain't nothing.
It's not nothing, but it's also not as. I mean, you needed more than a sword there. Like if 2C was still on fighter sword,
yeah, that's not good. That's not going to turn the tide in this one.
Yeah. I'm surprised Jet's still doing overworld checks. You've got the back of Swamp. I mean, like at this point, you've got all of Turtle Rock to do with. He's got 4 keys even, so that puts all of it in logic, regardless of if you have the big key or not. And that's just a lot of checks, as opposed to doing overworld stuff.
Yeah, it's 10 checks.
Yeah.
This may just be a situation where he has assessed that he is behind in this race and feels like he needs to make a play, which if that's his assessment, it's correct.
Yeah.
I think it may be something like that where he's just kind of trying to find a lotto ticket that will get him back into things a little bit.
All right, so 2C now going to finish off Desert. It's 2 more checks, and he'll give him his 6th crystal. He'll get the big chest, and then he'll get Landmo, and like I said, that other crystal. 2C, honestly, I don't really understand. I know I have perfect information, so it's not necessarily fair to Jet to say this, but I just don't get why you're not clearing crystals at this point. Or at least, I mean, even Turtle Rock is just so many items.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point you could argue, say, you're gonna have to do Mothiel at some point. If you're waiting for Tempered Sword isn't gonna make that appreciably faster. You might as well be doing stuff like that. TR is like, I guess, a little bit of a tougher sell since you have the mountain trip involved, and you aren't guaranteed to be able to clear it. But yeah, it's certainly for density of items.
I just wonder if I'm over because I know that the Turtle Rock big key is there, right? Like it's easy for me to say from a spot where I have all the information, oh, go to Turtle Rock, but I just
And I mean, from Jet's perspective, it could just as easily be, Quake there or anything else. So
yeah, he's gonna finish off Desert. He hasn't been here at all, so a single trip here for Jet is nice.
Yeah.
Where is Quake? Spike Cave.
I thought
Spike. Did we see that?
Spike Cave's an option. We did. It's not marked, but we did pick up Berna.
Yeah, Castle Tower. Second chest of Castle Tower.
Yeah, that's out there.
I mean, 2C might give some time
swamp.
back. Left side swamp. 2C might give some time back and go to ice because that's going to be his most dense location here coming up.
I think between the two runners, we saw everything out of pod. I'm not, again, 100% sure we saw big key chest from 2C.
Mm-hmm. It's not in desert. All right, where's he going now? Just the double check. All right, is it Quake? Let me make sure. Okay, so this is going to be ice from.
Yeah, he was getting harassed by the bird the last time he was there. So.
Okay, yeah. Always doesn't hurt to double check.
Yeah.
This is not Ice Palace. Hobo. Have we seen this?
Yeah, Jet checked this. It
Okay.
was, I want to say maybe a small key of some not great importance.
Sure. Yeah, that's a lot of GTs already. GT smalls.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess he hasn't done the water checks then, or maybe he's just going back to ice. I don't know.
I think this is going back to ice at this point. He has not been to Zora. Like I said, he's going to Zora.
Yep.
We should just stop predicting things.
I know. So Jet not using the silver arrows that he picked up
just
from.
making us look bad.
Yeah, instead using the fire rod. Gets it in one though, so it doesn't. Regardless, worked out either way. Left side swamp, is that what we're down to? Left side swamp and Chad. Are we missing anything else? Spike cave, left side swamp.
Left side swamp, spike cave is in logic with that burnout there.
Yeah, I can think of 4 checks.
CT2 is in logic.
Pod big key chest is a possibility, though 2C might have checked it. We missed it though.
Yeah, I legitimately don't remember when he was back in there now. I'm questioning myself.
Yeah. All right, so Jet gonna finish off Skull Woods. That's gonna get him another crystal. And this is gonna be ice. Okay. So this is gonna give some time back to Jet.
Yeah, right now, we're kind of hinging on when Jet gets back up to TR because we know he's going to find the big key there.
Yeah, you do have to go through the entire thing though. Like, it's not fast.
Yeah, it's all the way at the front, and with no Quake, he can't open it from the front.
Yeah, so we're in a spot where we're just gonna watch each runner cover the other tracks for a while. And there's only a few more checks left that we haven't seen, which is pretty crazy. We're only an hour and 13 in, so
yeah, we really have covered everything. Like, I mean, it's not that surprising given just how much divergence there was in the first 15 minutes with 2C, with Jet finding Light World Access first, and then 2C finding just every quality of life item
right
before finding his Moon Pearl.
So there's the powder for 2C. He gets to get his Tempered Sword if he wants. That's another crystal.
I wonder
for Jet.
Wonder how much he'll have available even before getting to that magic bat check.
Yeah. So where of the 4 checks that we can think of, and there might be more, we might be missing something. Where do you think it is? Left side swamp is the worst one, by the way.
Yeah, I did think at the time it made sense for 2C to be in left side swamp when he was in there. I understand a little bit more why Jet skipped it. I know 2C plays aggressive, and I know he, wanted to put that off, and he can go back there. It is 3 checks for him, and that's going to eventually be one of the denser places to go.
Okay, so Jet on his way to get his crystal number 6, so he's on the right path. This is good. And we're just a race to do one of those 4 checks that has Quake at this point.
To say Spike Cave is a possibility for Jet after he finishes up with TR.
Hair Basement is not available yet, so we can't do that one yet. No Hair Basement key.
No Hair Small key, no Ice Palace big key yet, no Skull Woods big key yet, so those are all little one-off keys.
All right, so 2C picking up his 3rd pendant. Does he have any interest on picking up silvers? Probably not, right?
I think maybe you do have a Vidi fight still outstanding.
Yeah.
And about those silvers. It may be, especially if you're still looking at a Master Sword Silvers Ganon fight down the line. I could see routing those in. He may be actually going to get those right now through that whirlpool, or after
Is he not
doing Ice
Rod Cave? We've seen this, right?
No, he hasn't been down to this corner of the world at all. Yeah, no, wow. Jet did this much earlier on.
Okay. Yeah, he'll take the whirlpool down to Kakariko to check powder and probably pull those silvers, right?
I think it's probably worth the time.
Yeah, we've seen Lumberjack. There's nothing there. All right, so he's not getting silvers, right? I think you had gone into the Lost Woods from there.
Yeah.
He's gonna get tempered, and then what?
Then I it's almost certainly got to be one of those remaining checks.
Yeah, I think you do Castle Tower into Spike Cave.
You could do CT2 into Spike Cave. Yeah. Or you could do, for him, he's got 3 checks in Swamp. I would think those to be the most likely options for him, though.
Yeah. He hasn't rescued the old man, which is in logic for him. That's also a possibility.
That is true.
But not right now. I understand the idea of like, if I haven't done this, then I probably lost mentality. It's never right. I feel like it's never right whenever people have that mentality or when commentators talk about it. But there's just certain checks that people really, really do not like to do. All right, Spike Cave
Yeah,
though. Is one
I
of the
understand the like stick to your skips philosophy, but yeah, at
Mhm.
some point you got to just do those quicker, easier checks.
Not Spike
Well,
Cave.
that's not helpful.
It's just gonna be left side swamp at this point,
We
right?
did not do CT2 there, which is a little interesting.
Yeah, yeah. This might be CT2 now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he's got anything left on the mountain at all other than CT2
Yeah. I also would have done
and Old
CT2
Man.
first, just because you don't have to climb again, right? Like,
Yeah, it saves you.
again, it's so easy to sit
And I mean,
here
that could be
and
as
say,
simple as like he was intending to do it, and then
yeah,
just brain skipped on past it.
yeah. I feel like I've been unfairly harsh to the runners when I have perfect information. Hey, do this because I know where to go. Come on, runners. All right, not there. I think you got to rescue the old
So
man if you're
left side
Tusi.
swamp, anyone?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Hop down, grab the. Oh, okay. So he's got something left on the side
Spiral
of the
cave,
mountain.
maybe.
Did he? Yeah, he might have
Yeah.
skipped Spiral Cave with his mountain routing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing is, Jet isn't that far behind now, right? Like all of the checks that that Jet did earlier, 2C's kind of gone back and done. So he's gonna get crystal number
At this
6
point,
right here.
unless we miss something with, it's either left side swamp or or big key chest and pod. That's the only other one I think we're unsure
Missed.
about.
Yeah.
But if Jet gets to,
Oh my gosh!
Oh
my gosh! That's crazy.
Okay, so we
Spiral
didn't see
Cave.
Spiral Cave from either runner. Wow.
So is Jet going to do that now? And if it is, then we've got a race. We've got ourselves a race.
Yeah. I mean, this is as good a time as you're ever going to get to do Spiral Cave.
Because Jet, okay, so Jet
I really had thought Jet had done that.
Yeah, if Jet does it right now, he's up as silvers. He's behind a few screens, but he is up as silvers, and we're on a GT big key hunt, right?
He's going into Light World. Yeah.
Well, we got ourselves.
It could come down to how many checks do you do in wire here.
Yeah.
It could come down to whether you go left or right first in GT. He's going to be, a minute and a half behind here, but this is tightened up considerably from what it was looking like just a few minutes ago.
Totally. Yeah, he was pretty far behind and made up a lot of the time. So here we go. What checks is 2C and Jet going to do? And where's the GT big?
One thing that's interesting, 2C is in here with 0 Meyer keys.
Oh yeah, that is
so
interesting.
He's even less incentivized to go see what's at map chest or lobby chest, anything like that. He's going to be going straight through to Vidi here and getting into GT. So Jet could open a few more checks in here. And if one of those is our GT big, then
he doesn't have the key.
This thing is turned on its head.
His checker says 0.
I think he's got 2. Oh, does it? Okay, no, you're right. It does. Sorry, I was misreading that as a 2.
Right. The GT big does not have to be in GT. It could be somewhere else. But at this point, you go GT mode, and let's see.
Yeah, when GT represents 75% of the open checks left in the game, you're going to go there looking for it.
Did he check the bridge chest?
He did check bridge and spike room.
Oh,
Jet's
wow.
Not even give us
Jet says 0 checks. 0 checks. I'm not even doing the checks on the right-hand side. That's impressive.
Yeah. I wonder if he even hook shots here for a bridge chest at this point.
Yeah, he might just be like, I'm going. It's GT. Wow. He skipped it. Wow, that's impressive.
That's bold. It's going to work out for him. It's not a ton of time, but it's, clawing just a little bit back here and there.
Wow. All right. There's 20. How many checks in the basement? 22? 21?
22.
I guess we could play the big GT Big Key guessing game for fun if it's there. I mean, it's not guaranteed to be there, but it could be there. So go and get your guesses in. I was wondering where 2C was going, but I forgot this is inverted.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is, I'm pretty sure this is the fastest way inverted to get to
for sure.
GT.
I mean, 2C's got the lead at this point, but does he go left? Does he go right? Does Jet go the other way? And how much time does the silver save Jet over 2C? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. I know if I'm a member of both teams, I'm sweating right now.
Oh, for sure. So that's 125.38 on the crystals for 2C. I'll note when Jet's in there, but it's probably going to be about a minute between them.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, Hope Room. No. And he's going right. This is the route that I would do.
Yeah, this route makes sense. You have enough keys that you can just mirror out a compass room here. You don't even need to grab the extra pot key. Jet's going to take Pyramid Fairy with.
This is surprising. I mean, skip Bridge Chest, but do Pyramid Fairy. I don't get it, but okay.
But if it's here,
no, Patusi already did this. It was Bombos was in here. There's the Hera Small, so.
Oh, that's right. 2C did do this, yeah.
Yeah.
Hera Small Key is Hardy Har Fun.
Yeah, and that's an awful check in inverted because you got to go all the way around. There's no like shortcut to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that one. I don't get the Pyramid Fairy. I mean, you're banking on the GT Big being in GT by skipping everything in Meyer and then doing Pyramid Fairy. I don't get it. And there it is. Number, that's what, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think 8 because we had 6 on right side. And
okay.
Actually 9 if you count Torch. So.
All right. So Jet needed to go left there. But he's going right. Let's see if he goes Hope left, maybe. Help keep this close.
Yeah, just a little bit under 2 minutes was the difference on opening GT here. But it's going to be real tough for Jet to claw back that time without something unfortunate happening for 2C.
Like just damage boosting through the spike room. It's not the quickest spike room I've seen.
Exactly the room. Not exactly the room that you want to take five or 6 hearts of damage in, but
right. All right, so 2C into the gauntlet. Jet has his mirror out, so he's on his way to get his big key. And it's close, but yeah, 2 minutes is a lot.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much to overcome in an execution gap. when you're not playing a runner of 2C's caliber. So
yeah. I think he's got a fairy too in one of his bottles at least, so playing a little loose.
Yeah,
not having to worry about death. Oh, there's the ice big.
And I think he bought a blue potion as well down at the magic shop.
All right, and 2C through Landmillis 2 as Jet begins his ascent up the tower. Well, it's really interesting. It's crazy that Quake was there. Like, imagine how much you could go mode if you just finished the mountain the first time you're there, like in 2C's spot, right?
Yeah, he would have skipped a whole bunch of checks.
A lot. You don't do, because you're desert big key from go mode.
He doesn't even end up in Ice Palace, I bet.
Yeah, you don't do ice. I doubt he even does Eastern. I think you're just doing crystals. Maybe, desert big key being at Uncle. Yeah, it's interesting how much quicker this could be, but it's tough. It's also so hard to assess. None of their decisions were bad as they were making the decisions. Everything was sound and made a lot of sense. But
sometimes you just got to go to the items.
Yeah, 2C did that right away. Like he went right to all the items in the beginning, and then just skipped out on that Quake for a long time to make.
Yeah, he definitely had an efficiency advantage in terms of how he was able to route through the light world and just the whole game, really.
All right, so Jet through the gauntlet, 2C about to fight Aga 2, and then it's just a Ganon kill. And if 2C can hold on, that will split the series between the two teams as we head into week number 5, which is my favorite week next week of the entire league season. That's co-op cross keys.
What do you know about co-op cross keys?
I don't know much, but I know
it's
that
not
I
like
like
you ever
it.
Put on a tournament of it or anything.
Sure, yeah. It's such a fun mode. It is a lot of fun.
No, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I am looking forward to playing that one next week.
Then we do doors the week after that. Beginner doors. How many beginner doors seeds have you ran?
I've done a lot more just kind of whatever, just doors with like shop sanity and everything like that. But I have beginner doors in my life, so I know there's I know some of the nuances of it, but I think that's gonna be a fun one.
Have you done any practice for Logical Randomizer for the final week of the season?
I haven't yet, and I sure need to, because
that's
Randomizer is Randomizer is its own little beast, and every year that it comes up in week 7, it takes a couple weeks of getting that muscle memory deck back under you and remembering how much I hate cold stare fights in the Hera arena.
Oh yeah. The logical aspect of the Randomizer is also going to be something new to the league and going to be really interesting to see how
I'm gonna
it plays out.
I'm gonna have to practice my mimic clips.
Oh, for sure. Get your powder ready for those dead rocks too. All right, 2C already on to phase 3 of Ganon here, and everything is going pretty swimmingly. So, just 12 swings away, or spins, excuse me, for phase number 4, and he'll lock up this victory. Jet fighting Aga 2. Nicely done. We'll be dropping in again shortly. But I think... So it's basically a Ganon fight. Difference between the runners at the end of the day.
Yeah, at this point, though, it's going to take basically it's going to require a fall from 2C
Yeah.
Jet sneak back.
How much time did Pyramid Fairy cost, Jet? 30 seconds?
Maybe
45?
30, 40 seconds.
Yeah. That's a GG's for 2C and Team Hime as he gets ready to cross the bridge. Go to get your GG's in chat for Team Hime. They're going to get 18 points and take the split, even it up with their out-of-division rivals, the Phendrana Drifters. It's a fun one. A fun one.
Yeah, that was a fun race. We got to see, you know, like I said, we thought it was all going 2C's way for a long time, and then kind of out of nowhere there, it was just suddenly it was a close race again.
Yeah, that Quake. Spiral Cave. A 2C did finish with a time of 1:34.11. And there's 2 silver arrows into the pig and number 4 for Jet. Get your GG's in chat for Jet and the Phendrana Drifters. Coming up just a little short in this one, but ran a really, really good race. We are joined by today's winner, 2C plus 2C. GG's, dude.
Hey, thank you, Fear. Hello, everyone. What's up, Will?
Hello, 2C.
So
GG's.
you beeline progression before Moon Pearl and then last locate Quake. Explain.
Yeah, it was like one of those unfortunate things, I guess, where, you know, you're on the mountain and, you know, you choose either Spiral or Mimic Cave, and then at that point I was doing TR, right? And then obviously with the routing in TR, I beat TR. At that point I just, you know, I'm not really going to do Spiral. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah. Understandable.
I had, like, better options, I guess.
Sure. We're also joined by Jet. GG's.
GG's.
GG.
It was close there at the end. Well, let me ask you this, Jet. You skipped all of Meyer, including the bridge chest, but then did Pyramid Fairy. What was the thinking there?
Well, so first I'm like, all right, go mode. I'm good to go. And then halfway through Meyer, I'm like, oh crap, I don't have the GT.
Okay.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm behind anyway. I'm just gonna gamble GT, but I could sort of do purple chest on the way, or not purple chest, sorry, Pyramid Fairy on the way. So I'm like, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's understandable. The big difference was the mirror. Jet got the mirror super late. And then 2C,
you guys effectively played 2 different seeds, if I'm honest.
2C actually had what was it? Boots, hookshot, mirror,
fire rod
before Moon Pearl, I think.
And bow, all before
Yeah.
Moon Pearl,
Yeah.
So
And then
Jet
it
was
came down to-
several minutes ahead into Light World and got all of that cleared, but 2C got in there with all of the efficiency advantages pretty much.
Yeah, but at the end it came close because who wants to do Spiral Cave, right?
Yeah. It's it's a tricky location for sure. But it is what it is.
How are you feeling, 2C, up until you're looking for, you get the Desert Big relatively late? I think both of you, I mean, nobody wanted to do the castle. Again, these checks in inverted just suck, but you get the Desert Big, and now you're literally just looking for Quake, and you've got ice and a bunch of other random stuff going. Are you feeling okay about where your position right there?
Yeah, I think, as you guys mentioned, I had like all the good stuff before the Moon Pearl, and honestly, with the location of the Moon Pearl, I can definitely understand if like someone skipped, you know, the hook shot in pod, the boots, you know, all that good stuff. So, you know, I felt very good about that, and overall, it was a very nice clear, I would say. Even like the Zora stuff, I skipped that for a very long time. You know, with the mids, I can get back there whenever. So overall, it felt incredibly efficient. So you know, I was very happy with the scene, how it played out.
And then Jet, for you, was that your last location for the mirror?
There were I still have like escape. I never went to Stumpy. And then there's a couple of desert locations I still had as well. So it was running out. I figured I'll do Catfish and then Pyramid Ledge, and then I don't know, probably going to escape at that point or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, everything that you guys did made sense, and it's just sort of like the order of the items that you get them in. Like if you watch back, there's nothing really egregious that anyone did. It's just, did you get the right item in the right time? And then it became really close though with Quake.
I'm honestly surprised. Like a minute and a half, despite all that, I felt like I was at least 10 minutes behind. Like honestly, getting that mirror when I did, I'm like, there's no way.
You were. It was like I want to say you guys got Quake within like a minute and a half of each other. I think that was both your go modes, and Turtle Rock was the last thing you did, and then you did Spiral, and that was like right. I think 2C you only had a few at left side swamp maybe left.
Yeah, it was left side swamp, the old man rescue. Funny enough, and
did you gamble that Meyer had nothing as well?
Yeah, I did like the 3 stuff, you know, the 3 things along the way, bridge, boss, basically. Those things, and then yeah, I went to GT after that.
I think if I had went left, that actually,
yeah,
I don't know if that would have won, but that might have been win.
It was close because you had silvers too, which 2C didn't pick up.
I earned those silvers. For sure. I'm getting these silvers because I at least give something out of all that. Oh man,
I was debating that. I don't even know if it was worth it after powder. I'm like, do I go to pet or not? Like I had like the 3 pendants there.
I was gonna say, if you had done it before getting that sword, yeah, then I think.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Who knows where the heck those swords were? Jeez, it took an hour, I think, for my first sword. For me, I think there was because it was like Powder had a sword. I forget where my first one was.
Swamp was the first one for both of you. There was one on Laser Bridge, and then Powder had your third one. So
yeah, so they were all locked by the mirror, which is why they were so late for you in particular.
Mirror's overrated. I mean, this is inverted mode. You're already in Dark World. Who needs a mirror?
For sure.
We could just walk up to K45. Who needs a stupid mirror?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, any other thoughts before we let you guys go and take the rest of the evening off?
Thanks for the restream, guys.
Yeah, thank you. When I saw you guys were doing commentary as well, on top of that, I was like, looking forward to like rewatching the one.
Well, Will carried, so he did all the work. Both your teams are in really good position still. I mean, this was an out of division play, which is always tough when you get really good teams. You have to play out of division, and you guys were able to split this week. But going forward, I mean, we're halfway through. You guys got to feel pretty good about your team's position so far, right?
Feels okay. Our group has been very weird. It's just we're all like splitting. So
yeah, I think for the first time in a while that Team Hime has positive record after 4 weeks.
Well, not just positive record. You guys are tied for first in the division, and Phendrana Drifters are a half game out in Kakariko division. So both teams, this could be. We mentioned this at the top, but this definitely could be a matchup we see again later on.
That would be definitely exciting. Always a pleasure playing against Jet. We had like opportunity in the main tournament once.
Yep.
So that was nice. And yeah, I'm also gonna play against you, Will. By the way, week 7.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, looking forward to that too.
Look forward to
Well,
that.
Awesome. GG's to you both, and good luck on the rest of the season. Really looking forward to see how your teams shake out going into the playoffs.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Will, always a pleasure to do commentary with you. Really appreciate that you coming into the booth. Don't get to do it
Absolutely.
often, but always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Had a blast with you. Do it again
Yeah.
sometime soon.
For sure.
Um,
Shout out to our trackers, Jet and 2C Plus, for tracking for us. Really appreciate that.
They mostly did a good job, except for that Berna.
Yeah. GG's to them.
Yeah, there's another race already in progress. If you guys want to check that out,
Yeah, it's over on the main
believe that
SpeedGaming
is-
channel.
yeah, that's
Yep.
on SpeedGaming 1. So
Another race
Telltale
at
Arcade's happening over there, and
Yep.
Yep.
So there's a race tonight at 8 as well with TJ Maelstrom versus Trinex, and then at midnight, PRD Wong versus BDI. So lots of races going on tonight and throughout the weekend as we head into the best week. So
yep, and I think we have an open race tonight as well on SpeedGaming. That's going to be Ray Zeus and Hawk 59. So
awesome.
plenty of rando tonight, and plenty more that's coming up this weekend. So a lot of influ keys going to be on the streams this weekend.
Yeah, and if you're
So,
playing,
now,
as soon as you
we're
get that
gonna be-
glove, check that catfish. Check catfish.
Yeah, don't forget to check catfish. Just a
Everyone
flute
check
two
that
away.
catfish. Yep. All right, that's gonna do it. We appreciate everyone for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.